Hi everybody, Dr. Lisa Thompson here at drlisamthompson.com, and I'm coming to you from my home office outside of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. And welcome to another edition of The Doctor Is In Live. I'm so excited to be here with you on this beautiful Saturday here in Minnesota. I mean, I've never seen weather this gorgeous. Probably the best fall weather we have had all season, and I hope that, this weather continues. As a matter of fact, I hope it continues through Christmas. I'm not really looking forward to winter. I'm not a big winter fan anymore. I really like fall is my absolute favorite time of the year. And so today I'm really glad that you're with me, because we're going to be talking about something very, very important. If you're in network marketing, I need you to pay very close attention today, because we're going to be talking about what type of images to put in your blog post. And this is very, very important. I want to share with you something that happened to me where I wound up having to pay a fine for an image that I thought I could use for free, and it wasn't. And so that allowed me to go do some research. And so we're going to be talking about 3 types of images that you can use legally on your blog. I'm going to tell you what those 3 types are so you know the distinction. Okay, and because it's so important, I even have a piece of paper here with notes on it. Okay, and then we're going to be talking about some of my best resources to find these images. So make sure you share this video with those you know, and hit the notification button up in the right-hand corner of your screen, so anytime I'm going on a Facebook Live, Facebook will notify you so we can interact in real time. Are we ready? Cool. Hey, Valerie, glad to have you on the show today. So in network marketing, over the last couple of days, we've been talking about how to sell more of your products. And right now there is a big push for that to happen, because over the last year, the FTC has come down on a lot of network marketing companies, either shutting them down or imposing some fines and new rules and regulations where you want people to be selling more product. So there's going to be a greater emphasis on that. And for a lot of people, they don't really focus much on the building of a product or customer base, because they feel that selling product, physically moving product would mean, oh, I have to do home parties, I have to go to trade shows, and that's really not the case. You can actually use your blog, positioning yourself as the authority and expert in the marketplace, and give away samples. So if you haven't watched the last 2 episodes of The Doctor Is In, you can, what I would encourage you to do is go to my website at drlisamthompson.com. My last 2 blog posts talk about how to set things up with your blog. What you can also do is get on my email list at workwithdrlisathompson.com, because every time I create a blog post, I immediately send it to my list. That way you will never miss a thing. So you can go to workwithdrlisathompson.com, fill in your information, and then you will be on my special email list when you will be notified when I have new blog posts coming up. So basically, what many people do, and this was the big mistake that I made when I first started blogging, is that, you need to find images to put in your blog, because people are very visual, and they will stay on your blog longer if you have images. So I would sit and I would pull images that I would see off of Google, and I would say, oh, it says commercial free. I mean, I can use them. They're part of the commercial license. So I would put them up, and then all of a sudden, back in April of 2015, I wound up getting a letter and an email saying that I had no right to use that, and I had to pay a $90 fine. So that was a big wake-up call for me. And so I began to look, and really study, where can I find images, okay, where I'm not going to land in trouble. And so what I came up with, and what I found in my learning and researching, that there are 3 types of images, okay? And so what I want you guys to do is get out a pad of paper and a pen and take notes. This is very, very important when it comes to knowing what type of images you can use on your blog. Now, basically there are 3 types. Type number 1 is what is called a public domain image. image number 2 that you can use legally is called Creative Commons. And the third is royalty free. So we're going to break each of these down now in more detail. So the public domain image, what does that mean? So forgive me if I look down on my notes. I want to make sure I'm giving you the most accurate information that I have. So basically what a public domain image is that these are images that are released for anyone to use for any reason whatsoever without having to pay a fee. Okay, so basically public domain images are often sourced from, here in the United States, it's from the U.S. government, because not many of the images are automatically placed in public domain. They're all funded by taxpayers. So there are many different databases to get public domain images. So you may have to do a Google search and type in public domain. So that is one form of images, okay? The second type of image that you can use legally is what is called Creative Commons, okay? And what Creative Commons means is that these are images to be used. You don't have to pay, but there are restrictions with their use, okay? They have different license variations which may restrict the use of these images in any certain way. What I'm going to do is when I am done with this Facebook Live, I'm going to be creating a blog post about centering around this Facebook Live, and so I'll be including links where you can learn more about the Creative Commons license and what the rules are with that. But what you need to know about Creative Commons images, okay, it hinges around 3 important things. Number 1, whether or not you have to give an attribution, stating, you have to cite the source. Number 2, whether or not you can create derivatives, or number 3, whether you can use the images for commercial or sales purposes. Those are the 3 things that you have to look at with Creative Commons. Now, if you're wondering what attribution means, okay, that means you would have to give credit to the copyright holder. So, for example, if you were using a Getty image, you would have to say Getty Images and the date, okay? Another one, derivatives, really means that it's artwork and designs created with the original image and use it as a derivative work, okay? So, for example, if you took an image and you uploaded it to like a video editing software, image editing software such as Canva or Photoshop, and you changed the colors in some way or added different filters to it, that would be considered a derivative. Now, for commercial purposes means, can you use that image to make money and use it like in your sales pages? Could you use it on a sales page on your blog? Could you use it to promote anything that would be intended to profit? So with Creative Commons, you have to be really careful with that. So that's the second type of image. The third type of image you can use legally is what is called royalty-free. Now, people often think that, if it's a royalty-free image, we can use it for free, but that's not the case. What royalty-free means is that you don't have to pay a royalty or you have to pay a fee for every time you use that image. So what royalty, if you were using an image where you would have to pay a royalty fee, would be, let's say you took a picture, there was an image, and every time you use that image in any particular blog post, okay, you would have to pay the creator of the image a fee. That's what royalty-free images are. And so you might see, what I've done is I've used royalty-free images. You might see them like at iStock Photo or Shutterstock, where you would have to pay a license to use that image. And so what I have done in any of my sales pages, or if I'm using a lead capture page, if I find a particular image that I really like, I will often purchase that, because then that just saves me a headache in the long run. So whenever I'm doing something as far as sales pages, I'm going to use those images. Now you're probably looking at me going, well, Doc, if I'm going to be selling more of my network marketing products, why can't I just use the product in my images? And I'm going to tell you not to do that. And here is why. If you put your product image within the blog, all right, or as a featured image, what people are going to do is they're going to see that product, they're going to see the logo of the company, the label, they're going to Google search it, and they're going to, the first things that are always listed in a Google search are always negative comments or negative reviews. Even if a company has been around, like an established company like Mary Kay, Avon, Pampered Chef, Tupperware, if they've been around for a real long time, they still get those negative reviews that come up right up off the bat, and it gives your reader or your potential leader prospect a negative filter right off the bat that's going to put them on the defense. So when you're talking with people, you want to use these images that I've been talking about as far as knowing what type of generic images and that to put in your blog that can give people an idea of what your product is about. But when you send the sample, that's when they'll actually see, the whole product with the logo and, physically when they get that. So here I want to end with just giving you some of my best recommendations when it comes to finding images where you don't have to pay anything. These are stock images from 3 of my favorite sources. My first favorite source to use is Pixabay, Pixabay.com, Pixabay, and Pexels, Pexels.com, and then there's one called Unsplash. And what that is that they are all royalty-free images, and you can literally go in and you can use them as many times as you want. You can download them. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're in HD. A lot of them come in different sizes. So you can find, there's hundreds of images that you can use that are just, they're really outstanding that you can put into a blog. Another great resource is if you use Canva. They also have within the Canva software, they also have royalty-free images that are free. Or if you want to use one of their images, you can pay like $1. Which is not a bad idea, or you can pay $1, or you can pay $10 just to have unlimited license. So those are really some really great ways you can find the resources for images. Did you find today's video helpful? Leave a comment and share, and I will be putting up a blog post tonight outlining these 3 types of images you can use legally, the resources that I mentioned, as well as the rules and regulations when it comes to Creative Commons use. So I'm going to have all those links in there. So what I would want you to do is get on my newsletter at workwithdrlisathompson.com. Okay, when you enter in your information, I always send to that email list first when my blog post is up. So then that way you can get the blog posts, you won't miss a thing, and then that will help you as you are creating your blog posts to sell more network marketing products. So with that said, we're going to end this session today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really glad that we got this time to spend together. Make sure you share this particular Facebook Live with those you know who are in network marketing or with your teams. Okay, especially those that are setting up a blog. This is very, very important. I don't want you guys to wind up having to pay a fee, okay, because you were caught using an image that you didn't have the license to use. So with that said, have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.